So note, after creating the square in the center of the sheet, there will be essentially 4 quadrants to the material. There will be 2 that are raised and 2 that are sunken in. However, if the material is flipped over, those 2 will then be raised in the same pattern as the 2 that are up now. So the next step involves taking the 2 edges that are raised on one of the quadrants, say this quadrant here, and folding them along the diagonal at the top along the square. So folding that one square that is within the square here. So there's the square that was formed, and then there's the top corner, which is within, which overlaps with the formed square. You want to fold that with the outermost edges together. Then, if you notice, you'll have a down pattern here, a valley, a peak, a valley, a peak, a valley, a peak, a valley. So then you'll notice the folds that you had previously, if you begin to crease those in, you'll get vertices, like so. And you're just gonna, each time you get a vertex, you're gonna crease those edges that form the vertex together and crease the diagonal along the outside. So you'll end up with a series of diagonals, mountain and valleys, that go almost to the outermost corner of the material, but are one square over here. So that's one, and then you'll notice there's down, there's valley next to that one. So you're going to squeeze those in until they form a vertex. Recreasing these edges. And once they're recreased, you're going to fold the edges together and now crease the mountain. Like so. So now you've got a mountain and a valley, and you're going to work all the way back until you get to the center. So now the up. So you can get a better view of what I'm doing. Creasing the tops. And once creased, folding them together. Along the vertex. And ultimately this will form its own kind of fan out to the diagonal. And just kind of play with the material back and forth until ultimately it all wants, as I humanize it there, wants to kind of go into this pattern that I've been describing. Be very careful as you're making these folds to make sure that they line up with the original creases that were made. such that the material works itself into the correct shape. These edges together, creasing the diagonal. Okay. Notice that this all kind of comes together. And then folding these edges. Along the diagonal. Creasing that diagonal edge with my thumb. And last but not least, the down diagonal here. You should notice when it's done that this whole corner should fold up nice and neatly into a sort of fan here. Now this is the centerpiece of the flasher. One of the four edges. Now spinning it around and repeating the process with the other up edge. Now notice that now that all these major ridges and valleys are formed, I can go through from the beginning, folding edges together and creasing the diagonals. Now in the middle, you can begin to see the square forming where the crossbar is going to go. But now that you have the top two quadrants done, you can flip the material over, and you'll notice the same thing on two remaining quadrants. It begins the exact same way, folding from the center, folding that first edge, and following the diagonal along to the outside, and then creasing all the valleys and peaks to determine where your diagonals are going to go. Of course, all of this is much easier with paper, so practice a few times with paper before you begin trying to fold with the Mylar. Last but not least, final quadrant. there you have it. Now, typically, at this point, you can tell there's still a lot of strain there in the center of the sail. This will be snipped, and eventually, once the crossbar is glued in, that will be cut out. But that will be demonstrated on further videos.